Hello, everybody. 4 years ago, I think 2017, we start our first top training in Kenya. It's called from Open Computer, Open Mind. We gather 13 young people in Rodi. It was a permaculture training center. And we introduced them the Raspberry Pi. It's an open computer. The idea is that let's have the people own the computer instead of be just user, because the way we use Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, all of them want us to be captured, to capture our attention, to control our mind, and we want to go a different way. See how it's possible to get freedom while using technology and also own it. So that was the idea behind the Raspberry Pi. We connect the open computer, open mind in a way that it will be in a farm. Why should it be in a farm? A permaculture farm? Because today, whoever is in agriculture, especially in Africa, is either very poor people or very old people. And the young don't want anymore to do agriculture. But if we introduce computer as part of modernizing agriculture, then the youth will join in and also will help to develop the agriculture in a better way. So that was the idea. The challenge we gave them is to look on a wall. We started by just looking on the wall and asking, what is a wall? And the answer is for protection, it's for make a limit between outside and inside, etc. But then we said, wait, maybe the wall could be your food security. Maybe the wall can actually help you to get your food. So that was how we started. And the first assignment of this 4 days training was to come up with an irrigation system for a green wall. That's how we started. And now we are 4 years later. Meanwhile, many of those youths took it to start it in their own home and develop all kind of initiative out of it. And that was how we started actually the training of TOP. TOP stands for technology tapping our potential, transforming our problem with technology of peace. And that was our starting point. And today we go back to it, but after maybe 3 weeks ago, a film we have done on a project in Israel that was actually inspired by our work in Kenya won the best inspiration movie. We'll show it later as part of it. But that's the idea. We want to we have free people using computer, but in a new way. So open computer, open mind, that's the message we are moving forward, and let Philippe carry from here on.
Okay. As you can see here on this slide, what is a computer? What is a closed computer? Actually, most of the people are using an operating system made by Microsoft, Windows, that decides on the kind of computer that it is making, or it can be also Apple with the operating system of Apple, and actually you can also see it on your phone. You may ask yourself, who owns my phone? domain, or if you take an Android, then Google actually requires you to provide an address, an email address, a Gmail address. Also, who owns your digital identity? A lot of your data content is on the social media, like Facebook. And what we see is that a lot of it is actually what we call a closed computer. A computer or your phone does not belong to you, it belongs to some large companies that decide what to do and what kind of programs you can put in, and with some limitation. Now, what we're talking about is open technology. It's all of these programs that are open source, and the good thing is that the person, the user, is not just a consumer, but he start to develop and he start to produce his own content. You can even make your own operating system, your own distro in terms of the Linux operating system. And what we have done with the first courses was providing a small computer the size of a little box and Raspberry Pi that is actually very open. And if you don't have a screen, well, you can use an old TV set. If you don't have a keyboard, actually you can use your smartphone to control the computer. So the whole thing here is, okay, how can we use technology so that people are not just passive users, but they start active, what we call a prosumer. Prosumer is a producer and a consumer. So this is the introduction, the notion of prosumer, producer and consumer of technology. Actually, we have it also not just for technology, but also for kitchen garden. Top Shamba, initiated by our top coordinator, James Otieno. Maybe, James, you can give a couple sentences about what is being a prosumer in your area of kitchen garden.
We have just seen up there that it's a new word we are called prosumer, and basically come from producer and consumer. And I think the best area to explain this could be in the garden, and that's what we are calling the top shamba. When you plant, let's say, for example, I plant pawpaw, I can use this pawpaw for my own consumption, which is the most common thing when people plant in their kitchen garden. And so I become the consumer of my own products. But you see, if I do a good job, some of the products, my products will be more than I can consume. And therefore, the extra from my budget of my fruits, I will be able to sell, or I should be able to share. So when you combine the three, that is consuming, selling, and sharing, you end up becoming the person we call a prosumer. Because in this world, we cannot rely on just people buying from us. In fact, when you buy something from an individual, the contract ends there. You get the item, you get your money, he or she gets your money, and your contract there. But when you share an item, then you build a relationship. And it's important to build a relationship. So in all that we do, if we are able to find what we are using for our own personal thing, And we can also find what we can share to build relationship with people. And then we can also find what to sell to keep us sustainable. Then we are in a group of prosumer. So that is actually what we mean by the prosumer mindset. Thank you, Philip.
Now, let me present what Daniel Otieno has been doing, actually inspired by the first course on connectedness, where he started to learn about the Raspberry Pi. Daniel is a mechanical engineer, and he had started to make a CNC machine. And it was with a computer, with an Arduino controller, and it was with his own computer. And thanks to the Raspberry Pi, he was able then to really upgrade the machine. Let me see. This is a 5-axis machine. It's not made in China. It's not made in the US. It's made in Kenya. And these are examples of what he's been doing, actually mostly, I think, during his spare time, of working on wood and making all kinds of work based upon a design that is being done. So this is clearly an example saying, okay, well, a CNC machine, well, should I buy one or can I make one? And we can see here that with some hard work and some local material and some electronics from various sources, is able to really build CNC machine. Another example, and I don't know if Jeff is here, was able to arrive. Now, Jeff is actually, but okay, Jeff is actually.
Philip, Abner is here.
Yes.
Abner.
Okay. I can see that Abner is here. Let's go back to the CNC Daniel, and Abner being brother of Daniel and being also a maker. Can you please, Abner, present what you've been doing, and you know, the results of the course of the top.
Good afternoon. It's afternoon in Kisumu. I'm Abner Otieno, and I'm a maker. And currently, I'm working on, let's say, how to make. We are reusing what the industry does not utilizes. So, how do I share the screen?
You can, okay, I stopped. You can share your screen now.
Okay, so let me get to the photos. We have been working on the local manufacturers in our place. It's called Kibuye. It's a local like timber yard. These people, they use wood most of the time, and this wood is usually just dumped. The small pieces, when they're done with it, they just throw it away. So of late, we have been reusing the wood, the smaller bits. I think you can see that. Those are buttons made from wood, and they're used. Do you still see that?
Yes, yes, we see it.
Yeah, those are buttons made from pieces of wood that were to be thrown or burned. Mostly we burn them in Africa. We do a lot of burning of wood. And these were taken and done by hand, since it's not cost effective to do with the CNC. But these are the ones, let me show. These are boards that are used to make cupboards, the backing of the cupboard to cover the cupboard up from behind. So when they are cut to size, these are the offcuts that remain. So these ones are normally burnt. They normally give the mama mboga, the ones that cook githeri, and they burn them, or they just burn them out there in the field. But now we are trying to take these products, these offcuts, and turn them into something valuable, because this one piece without the lighting and everything is about 2,000 Kenya shillings. That means after adding a value of cutting it with 1,000 shillings, I get another 1,000 on top of it. So from trash to cash. So it's easier for them to see that even if they don't have to burn them, they can sell it to us. At the end of the day, they'd be making more money selling it to us than burning it or just giving it away free. And these are some of them. This is from wood. This is just solid wood. It's eucalyptus. We get it here. It's plentiful. So most of the time, after using this wood, it's big chunk. It's always like this. You see, you compare this. So pieces, small pieces like this are not used. So we take them, cut them size, trim them, and take them and make name tags with them. So we are taking mostly industrial waste. Yes, yes.
So what you are doing, if I understand it rightly, you're using the CNC machine that Daniel was building, and thanks to this CNC machine, you can take trash and make it into cash. That's right?
Yes, yes. There's a photo I think Felipe was showing. The one, the hexagon one. You remember the one that Felipe was showing? Yes, some things like that. Those are offcuts. We use the CNC to add value to those items. Yes, that one.
Okay, so this is basically self-made CNC using more or less 7 Raspberry Pi computer, right?
Yes. Arduino control.
Arduino control.
Yes.
And how it's connected to the, can you explain us how this is connected to the Open Mind, Open Computer course you were done in 2017, you and Daniel?
So that enabled us to get the basic knowledge of I/O connection programming. And with that basic knowledge, it opened a new world that we can, acquiring these machines are quite costly in Kenya. Getting the CNCs into Kenya, you need $1 million and over. But if we get these components that are cheaper, open source, we don't need to pay proprietary licenses to operate, then we can enable ourselves to build basic machines to start off. And from that, we can build either sophisticated or later purchase the ones that the industry need. So it's a stepping stone that has provided a big boost to us as makers.
So what you said that basically if you get the parts and make your own machine, you don't need license. It's based on open computer and open source.
Yes.
And you can become more creative in a sense.
Enables us to explore more using machines and better the society by enabling them create other sources of revenue.
Okay, let me share what I just showed. The what Jeff Toshe was from Elimo TV and now has Digital TV Kenya. What happened over the years? What Jeff realized that they had to buy transmitter and receivers for a very high price. And when Jeff understood that the transmitter receiver is all in all a computer, and he actually developed his own transmitter receiver using open source programs. And he was able to make one for 1/10 of the price of the transmitter receiver that he was buying, so that actually Jeff started to sell these transmitters to other TV companies. And now Jeff is even running what you call the Digital TV Kenya, and he's been very successful in getting an expertise in these fields. Now, what I would like now to run is the film that we have developed, we have made, and let me.
Yeah, but Philip, okay. I want to add this work. Once the corona started, we understood that in Israel there are at least 500,000 kids without connection and to internet and computer. And inspired by the work we have done in Kenya, we offer the Israeli education system the solution you see. So basically, it's inspired from the work in Kenya.
Okay. So let me know if you hear well.
וואי, קטן, אבל כבד.
המצוקה מולידה את התושייה. כל אתגר יכול להיות גם הזדמנות.
רק בבית ספר הזה, בבית ספר ראשית קריית מנחם, יש 70 ילדים בלי מחשבים, למעשה הם נשרו דיגיטלית. הבנתי שיש פער דיגיטלי, וישר הבנתי מה המשמעות של כל הדבר הזה. זה השפעה חברתית, רגשית, על התפיסה העצמית, והבטן שלי התכווצה, ואמרתי חייבים לעשות משהו.
פער הדיגיטלי תפס את כולם. משפחות שלא היה להם מחשב בבית, פתאום 10 ילדים בבית, 5 ילדים בבית, שאין מחשב, וצוות בית הספר אומר, אתם חייבים ללמוד דרך הזום. אנשים נשארו עם הלשון בחוץ.
מהרגע שהבנו שחסרים המחשבים, הבנו שעומד מזה סיפור הרבה יותר גדול. הפער הדיגיטלי חשף את הפער החברתי, וצריך לטפל בו כמו שצריך. עכשיו, אם סתם נביא מחשבים וניתן אותם, שכאילו לעשות וי שיש מחשב, לא עשינו כלום, נהפוך הוא, העמקנו את רמת הנזקקות והמסכנות. אני לא מסוגל, אני לא יכול, אני לא בעל ערך.
כששמעתי על המיזם בהתחלה, אני הייתי מאוד סקפטי, כי אני אמרתי, מה יקרה עכשיו אם... אוקיי, אז אנחנו ניקח מחשב שאף אחד לא רוצה אותו, וניתן אותו למישהו שאין לו, ואז נעשה כאילו יש לו, איך זה יעבוד הדבר הזה.
וכשבאתי לכאן והציגו את האפשרות של להחליף לו מערכת הפעלה ללינוקס, והתחלתי לראות איך זה, אני חסר ניסיון בלינוקס, אז השתכנעתי שיש כאן חשיבה על הדבר הזה, זה לא טריוויאלי.
אני וחבר שלי ישי כבר תיקנו מחשב HP.
המחשב ילך לאנשים שהם צריכים מחשבים כדי לתקשר בזמן הקורונה, אז עכשיו הם יקבלו מחשב כדי לעבוד איתו בלמידה מרחוק ולתקשר עם חברים.
זה עובד! עושה בדיקת כונן, זה כאילו אומר לפני כמה זמן מתקנו אותו פחות או יותר, מה הטמפרטורה בתוך המחשב עצמו, בתוך איפה מהאזור של המעבד, כמה זמן הוא פעל.
זה נתן לי ידע עצום, ואיך להשתמש במחשב בצורה יצירתית ולקחת את זה למקומות טובים. ידע זה תמיד כוח, ידע זה כוח, זה תמיד טוב.
זה נראה לי פתרון פרקטי, פשוט, ובסופו של דבר נראה שהוא מספק את צרכים לכל אחד.
בית ספר השכיל לבחור חבר'ה שהכוחות המנהיגות הסמויים שהיו בהם פתאום התגלו בפרויקט, והמנהיגות הפנימית הזאת יוצאת ומשרתת את הקהילה, וזה פשוט מרגש. אנחנו לוקחים השפעה דיגיטלית, והופכים אותה לזהב חברתי. כל אחד שיקבל, חלקם ייתנו תמורה של 30 שעות עשייה בקהילה, או שהם בדברים שהם ממש טובים והקהילה ממש צריכה, ועל ידי זה יצרנו פה בנק קהילתי שמתחיל ליצור שפע. ממה שהיה השפעה, מה שנזרק, מה שלא נחשב בעל ערך, פתאום מקבל ערך גם במובן האנושי וגם במובן החומרי.
עלו לנו בהתחלה כמה רעיונות של תמורה לקהילה בבנק הקהילתי, אבל תוך כדי שיחות עם אמהות, פתאום עלו עוד רעיונות שלא עלו לנו. עברתי עם אחת האמהות והיא אמרה לי, רגע, הבן שלי טוב בלעבוד עם ילדים קטנים. אמרנו, אז נפלא, אז אנחנו ניתן לו לחנוך אולי ילד מאחת הכיתות הנמוכות, והוא יקדם אותו ברמה החברתית, ברמה הלימודית. זאת אומרת, הבנק הקהילתי הזה, זה אמנם יש לנו אוסף של רעיונות ראשוניים, אבל כל הורה יכול לבוא ולהגיד, וכל ילד יכול לבוא ולהגיד, רגע, אני טוב באלף, בית, ג', ד', אז בואו נחשוב ביחד ונראה איך אני יכול להביא לידי ביטוי את עצמי במה שאני טוב.
קיבלו אותי לקבוצת מחשבים, ובגלל שאני אעבוד פה ויעזור לאנשים אחרים במחשבים שלהם, אז הביאו לי לכבוד יום ההולדת מחשב נייד מתנה. עם המחשב החדש אני אעשה את הזום ואת המטלות שיש לי בקהילה לומדת.
כשילד בא מספר, אני מרגיש טוב, אני תורם לקהילה, אני משאיר משהו, זה מה שגם אני יכול להתחבר איתו וגם אני יכול לתת. אני חושב יש פה מסר מאוד חזק.
אני מרגישה שאני עושה פה משהו משמעותי, באמת משמעותי, וזה משהו שלא אכפת לי לעבוד בשבילו בשעות לא שעות, בימי שישי בצהריים ובשעות מאוחרות בלילה, ועכשיו להיות כאן ולהשאיר ילדים בבית, ולהיות כאן ולהיות חלק מזה, אני באמת מאוד מאוד שמחה שנתנו לי להיות חלק מהדבר הזה.
פירקתי מחשב. פירקת מחשב ואחר כך? תיקנתי אותו.
עצם זה שאני רואה ילדים שלוקחים גרוטה ורואים איך אפשר בעצמם, איך הם יכולים להשמיש אותה ולגעת בטכנולוגיה בלי שאף אחד אומר להם אל תיגע או זה אסור או אתה תהרוס או משהו כזה, ולקחת משהו שבדרך כלל היינו זורקים, להפוך אותו למשהו שהוא בשימוש, ויותר מזה, גם להעביר אותו לשימוש למישהו אחר שאין לו. אני חושב שקודם כל זה מלמד המון, זה מלמד המון על הצריכה והבזבזנות שלנו מצד אחד, זה מלמד על הטכנולוגיה, אבל אתה יכול לעשות את זה לבד, וגם היכולת לתת ולהדריך זה דבר שהוא מעצים, אז זה עסקת חבילה נפלאה.
הדבר הראשון שבררנו, לכמה ילדים אין מחשבים? הסתבר שבישראל מדובר על 200,000, ואז אמרנו, אוקיי, כל כך הרבה מאיפה מתחילים. ואמרנו, ניקח את המקומות שאנחנו יודעים שיש אנשים, מנהלים טובים, שיכולים להוביל ולהראות את השינוי, וככה הגענו לג'יהאד בכסייפה, שמתוך 400 תלמידים, רק ל-46 יש מחשבים באינטרנט, לכל השאר אין.
בזמן הקורונה התחלנו לבקר את התלמידים, ואנחנו מגלים שהתלמידים במצוקה אדירה מבחינה טכנולוגית ודיגיטלית. ראינו שתלמידים עולים על גבעה כדי לקלוט אינטרנט או רשת סלולרית ולתקשר עם המורה שלו. ראינו תלמידים שאין להם מחשב בבית, ראינו תלמידים שאין להם אינטרנט בבית, ראינו תלמידים בלי טלפון של לתקשר עם המורה או המורה בוואטסאפ. תוך חודש וחצי בערך אנחנו גייסנו כ-80 מחשבים מוכנים לעבודה ולחלק לתלמידים. הם הסכימים עם התלמידים להתנדבויות ובנק קהילתי שיתרמו לחברה, יסייעו לחברה. אנחנו גם מקבלים הצעות מאותם תלמידים ומהורים איפה נקודות החוזק שלהם, איפה הם יכולים לסייע, איפה יכולים לעזור.
Yes, Philip.
Yes. Any reaction?
From trash to cash, from trash to treasure. I think that film crowned all we are discussing, that with technology of peace, we can convert any situation. We can transform any situation. Like I know back there in Israel, there are many homes with computers that were brought by grandparents. They became trash in the home. But with this technology, they are now trash, and you can see the joy, the excitement among the youth when they can repair the computer and make them useful. You can see the satisfaction in their faces. And I think that is really what we are talking about. That transformation is possible, but you must bring in a bit of technology. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Fine.
Sorry, I was late for the meeting. I think, okay, what I'm getting right now, seeing how that particular project in the documentary could be very interesting in that kids from one country could make computers for other kids, needy kids in another country. Or even in Kenya as we speak, there's a lot of that digital trash. People don't know where to take old computers that got spoiled and whatnot, yeah? And something like that could be very good on this side, because this side, I think the number of people, children who have computers available to them is very low, yeah? So, well, I'm just thinking of where that project could go next.
I think there are few possibilities, and I think now we see how we take a used computer or used component of computer and make the kids own them and know a new language of how to compute them and make them alive again. But I think Philippe have a new way that it carries even further forward, and introducing also open computer and AI, artificial intelligence. So Philippe, maybe you will take us there.
Yes. So actually, if we were to make another course on connectedness, we would not bring a Raspberry Pi, but we would bring a computer that is that looks similar to the Raspberry Pi, developed by Nvidia with open source programs. The thing is that with this small computer that costs about between $60 and $90, you can actually start using artificial intelligence and machine learning so that you can make all kinds of applications, image classification, object detection, speech processing, and this small box just needs 5 watts. So, just need a bit of electricity, and there's a whole community of people working, learning, collaborating around now this Nvidia Nano Kit. And actually, we're also connected with Yaki Tebeka, who is one of the architects of the company, so that if there are any questions, requests, then we can also connect the people to NVIDIA and to the community. So this is very exciting, because now it can really take young people to the next level, where everyone talks about AI and machine learning, but here you can really develop your own projects. George, Abner, do you have any reactions?
I personally, with the NVIDIA, okay. So right now, personally, I'm actually pursuing, I'm learning machine learning with Python actually. So I'm trying to see, so with this new, the NVIDIA, that thing, that gadget, I'm really looking forward to actually interact with it, because I'm also very interested into going into the field of AI. Because I'll start with machine learning, then I'm doing AI after that. Yeah, also maybe to respond to probably the video that was shown before. We as PACE, the organization that was started here in Kenya, here in Thika, we were looking towards implementing the same, and we were looking at actually engaging a school from here, from Thika, where we can actually use it as a resource center, where once we approach companies that have digital trash, we can have a place where children can actually go and probably learn now about computers. They're able to learn about computers. They're able to probably also, what else? They can learn more, even things to do with coding and everything else. Because here in Thika, there's a place called Majengo. There's also Kendutu and the likes. And these people actually really do have a big problem with computers, and their inaccessibility to computers with the COVID-19 situation right now. It actually prompts everybody to be tech savvy, and that is one of the solutions we are pursuing, because we're just getting things started over here, and probably soon we'll have something to share with you guys.
Okay, thank you, George.
I've seen in the chat, student 511021 has made a comment. Maybe, I don't know who that one is. So can you just put that comment, because it said it's new to him or her. Who is student 511021?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Yes, I'm Joseph Owiti, a teacher from Southern Special School, Mtwapa.
Yes.
I'm just joining this meeting, though I came a bit late. I was informed by Brother Eyal, and I feel interested. I don't know how it will be, but I'm thinking about how to contact Mr. Abner and maybe whoever can assist me to get to know more.
Good.
I appreciate. I've got good ideas, and generally, I'm also interested in IT. At school, I'm the IT in charge. So we also have computers in the computer lab which are not used, and I don't know what to do with them. I think if we move on and I get to know what to do with them, we can go further and do good things. Even now, as we speak, I'm in the lab. I think if I turn my screen, you can see those
we are starting to see. We see the
some are
desktops.
functioning. Yes, some are functioning. Some are not. Yeah, desktops. Some are not functioning. But I hope if we can get in touch. I like this. I like this. I've done a private chat with Mr. Abner. I've given the number.
And
so I think from there.
Also with Philip Joseph.
Yeah.
Philip is our chief technologist. Abner is in Kenya. He's now in the maker rooms and a lot. And also George knows. So I think all of those people can maybe help you. And today it's easy to help each other with from a remote distance by giving some instructions, some direction. Philip, you want to add more to this?
Yeah, I think indeed the computers that you don't know what to do with them can actually become useful. They can maybe you don't maybe for you they are no longer working because they may be a bit old, and usually the internet with Windows require to have the newest operating system. And with old computers, the Windows 10 is not working so well. But if you put a Linux-based operating system, and this is something that Abner, George can also help with it, then you can revive the computer, and it can become a computer, it can become a server. I mean, there are all kinds of things that can be done. So indeed, it's really looking at old computers with a different eye.
Wow.
Okay.
I was looking forward to have two more school institutions. They didn't come. Joyland Special secondary school. I expected somebody from the lab to come. Ramogi Technical Institute was also to be on board. SIA Technical Institute was also to be on board. It appears the three were not able to come, but I'm very excited to hear what is coming out of Sajanad, because that's really what I expected when those other institutes were going to be on board today. I think I'm very excited what Patrick Mzungu has done, and we can see right from now, we can see that in that lab of Sajanad, there are so many desktops. And as we talk, even around Mutwapa there are so many children who cannot learn because of the COVID. They cannot use Zoom, and therefore their learning time is actually passing. And so I think we are on the right track. I'm very excited about the teacher from Sajanad. Your contribution is very, very much welcome, and I know you'll be able to find connection. The purpose of this is develop connection. When we connect, we move from one point to the next. Thank you, Philip.
Okay, I can also add that in the desert of the Negev, we were able to bring some kind of solutions so that people would be able to connect to the Wi-Fi of the school, even though they were at about 1-2 kilometers away, thanks to a parabolic antenna that was pretty common over there. So, I mean, there are around top, there's much skills, and we can really, by tapping the potential, we can really transform the problems and provide solutions. So that's what can I say. Okay. Okay, I think we can have a word of ending. Yeah, James?
Yes. First of all, every time we start this meeting, there is something new is coming and connecting. Abner, I like your products and the way you use the CNC and make trash to cash. So I hope you can share more of this idea so we can inspire much more people. Because I think maybe few people can make the CNC machine, but once you introduce the CNC machine, many people can use them to make trash into cash. So we have to come up how this can be duplicated. Because maybe you and Abner and Daniel can make the CNC machine, but once you have them, many can follow you and using them. So few have to make the machines, and many can use them in a creative way. And in this way, you start enable people to see what they used to see trash as a source of growing and creativity.
Yes, we can do that. We can work on a system and create a model that can be replicated, that can be shipped around, and create a business model out of the system. It's possible. We'll work on that. I'll talk to Dan.
Okay, so that's what I like about this meeting. We inspire each other, and we have to see possibilities where before it was just desktop computer in the lab, not functioning, a CNC machine that is doing something well. Oh, here's Jeff. Hello, Jeff. So Abner, I'm waiting to get more in contact and see how we can develop this model.
I will.
Okay, thank you. Jeff, how are you?
Jeff is our top expert on transmitter, receiver on digital TV. Now we're about to finish the meeting, but Jeff, if you have 1-2 minutes to present yourself and what
is still connecting.
So when Jeff is still connecting,
okay,
I'm aware Evans is coming up with a new product in the market. I saw it the other day. I think we can see how technology can come in. I know they'll be sharing next, but I think by the time they are sharing, there will be something on technology to see, because I felt that it's like they were getting some trash and turning them into cash. Just an appetizer, Evans. What was it about the chili?
Hi, James. Let Mom say hi first, and then I can finish.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Joanne.
I'm so impressed on what is going on.
Yes.
I think next time, Abner, I'm coming to Kisumu, and I'm looking for you. I'm also looking for the trash computers I left somewhere. I can come along with them so that we start using them.
You're welcome.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's good. It's a great idea. Congratulations, Ayal, and the people who did it. I'm so impressed. Evans.
Okay, so mine was where I stay now in Kajiado. There's a lot of chili farms, and then what happens is these chili farms, they do grading and sorting. So when they sort, there's certain chili that is taken abroad, and then there's what they call waste chili. Now what they sell to the locals, and then the rest they just let dry and whatnot. So I decided to use it to come up with a product. So I came up with chili paste. It can stay up to a year or more. Yeah, generally that's it.
They are pillow.
A pillow, yeah, it's called a pillow.
Okay.
That is just an appetizer for next month. So I know
Yes.
next month there'll be more information. But just before we
There are
close,
more pillow products.
okay, thank you.
Not only one, but there are many. There are many.
Okay, Jeff is here. Jeff, we are just about to close, and it's good to see you. You are mute. You are mute. Jeff, unmute.
Okay, is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Now you can hear me. You can hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I'm late. I was sorting a client and it took longer than expected.
Okay, Jeff, tell us what you have done with the open computer, how it changed your life and business.
Yeah, so for me, I was in the first top training ever in Kenya. So that's where we met most of the top officials, most of the people in top. That's the time we met. And for me, it was a big experience because it brought in the aspect of open source software, open source computing. You know, we were looking at, instead of buying a box, what runs in that box? It's software. So instead of buying the box, can we create software that is equal to that box? So my biggest challenge at that time was we ran a television station called Elimo TV. Elimo TV is a TV station that broadcasts education for secondary education. So people tune in and they're able to watch lessons from at least 11 lessons of the KCSE curriculum for education in Kenya. So one of the biggest challenges that we had with the Elimo TV was transmission. How do you get your signal from your studios to the transmission point, which is around 50 kilometers away? So initially, it was more like you record in the office, you do the editing from there, you package it in a disk, and then you take it to the point of transmission by vehicle. So this method was very, very hard because you find like if a program was to air today, it has to be recorded 3 days before. And we wanted to have a situation whereby Elimo TV is live. By live, I mean, if you have a client who's coming in today at 4 or at 5, they come to studio, they do their program, and 1 hour later, they are finished. So the hindrance here was a device called an encoder, and the other end, a decoder. So the encoder and the decoder, they cost around, the encoder costs around $3,500 US, and the decoder costs around $3,000 US. So in total, you needed around $6,500 US for you to be able to do live transmission. So after that course, you were like, okay, so what is in an encoder? Found out that okay, an encoder runs software inside. So we were like, what's that encoder? We went into finding out what software runs in these encoders, and we found an open source application called FFmpeg. So FFmpeg is an application that does video conversion, video encoding, video recording. So anything that does, any software that is video related has FFmpeg in the background. So we created a software which eliminates, number one, the encoder. So that eliminated $3,500 US from our budget as Elimo TV. Then on the other side of decoding, we found that the same software, if it's installed in a machine, in a PC, So using the same software, we were able to eliminate both the encoder and the decoder from the transmission chain of Elimo TV. So from there, having solved Elimo TV's problem, other television stations started following suit. They're like, okay, we have the same problem. What did you guys do? Can you do it for us? So other than solving Elimo TV's problem, now the same software became on demand. And I started selling the software. I think the first time I sold it for around $2,000 US. The least amount of money I've ever sold that software was around $1,500 US. But then in around 2020, I realized that you cannot sell this software 4 times in a year. So maybe you'll sell it maybe twice. So as much as you'll make 2,500 twice in a year, maybe the first one will come in January and the other one will come in December. In between there, you are seriously broke. Yeah. In between there, you'll have to make ends meet. And when the money comes, it comes to fill in the debts you've accumulated between the period that was dry. So I was like, okay, so how do I make this thing to make me money on a regular basis? So we thought of, okay, now instead of selling this software, why not make it software as a service? You see? So instead of selling it to one person at $2,500, I'd rather list it to them. They give me a monthly fee, and then I'm able to, that is a regular income. You see, it might be small fee because we charge $300 per month per station. So if it's $300 per month per station, at least every month, even if you just have one channel, you have $300. So I started with at least one channel. They've been growing right now. That was in 2020. The first channel was Elimo. Then we followed another channel called Goshen Wonders. Now we
can see it.
Now we can see it.
Yeah, so this is Elimo TV, Goshen Wonders TV, GM, JBN TV, Lookup TV, Ukirika, Sozo, Uvoro, Boss, Riri. This is called TH Stone, Destiny Voices, Favor of God, Bethel Cloud, and finally Soa.
Wow.
So all these TVs are run by that application. All these TVs right now, we started with one server. Now we have 4 servers which are hosting these TV stations, and each server can host up to around 6 channels. So at your free time, you can go and check out this digital TV website. Yes. You can check it out at your own free time and see what those channels are all about. So I can say from that day, things are different now for me because I no longer have to be employed by anyone. Yeah, I have a thriving business, a business that is generating around $3,000 a month. And it's supporting around 14 channels, and these channels are around the country, not just in Nairobi. Nairobi has maybe 6 channels, Mombasa has 1, Nakuru town has 4 channels. And then recently I went into Kitui and Nyeri town. So it's spreading across the nation. We are currently being considered as an option. You see, many traditional TV stations didn't want this method. Since this method is internet-based, and then they are used to satellites. Satellite costs around $3,000 per month. Our solution costs $300 per month. So it's 10 times cheaper
Well, that's great.
Yes, I think it's an amazing story. And since you are a media guy, and the lack of what we are seeing with James, that we don't know how to share the story to inspire other people. So we have to come with a way to inspire many more. And you know, if you have done this just from 5 days training, that's how big change it's make. It's unbelievable. So now let's think how we can inspire so many young people that can start their own business using technology for the good of society.
Okay. So for me, from my experience, I realized that you have to look around the problems in your environment. Maybe it's your business environment, maybe it's your home environment. Yeah. So for me, my business environment was the hurdle of everybody's buying hardware and nobody wants to look at what is inside that box. So we need to look at what is it that people are buying out there, and you can look into what is running these devices. Is it something that we can create? And the other idea here is everything that you are trying out, try it out as a business so that it can grow. But if you try it out as fun, it may not grow. You may not seriously. Yeah, because
I like that.
Yes, because for me, what keeps pushing me are the customers. They're the ones who complain every day, every single day. Somebody's complaining, somebody's complaining, somebody's complaining. So they keep you on your toes. You have to be looking at, okay, how do I solve this guy's problem? How do I solve this guy's problem? And it is their problem which gives us the next step, the next advancement, the next tweak into the software, the next addition into the software. So if you're not in a business environment with your invention, there'll be nobody to push you. You'll have to be like to motivate yourself. And sometimes that can be hard. But if you have somebody else who's paying and they want value for their money, they will definitely keep you on your toes.
Okay.
So I would tell guys, whatever a small invention you think you have, put it out there. Sell it to somebody. My first customer on this platform, I gave him for free. It is the second year, I still don't charge him. He's still on my platform for free. But it was through him that I got to understand some of the problems I was facing. Was the one who was
so you shared, yeah, you know, you shared. Yeah. If you didn't share, then you would have learned. Thank you. That's real powerful what we are discussing here.
Yes. I had to give it out for free for it to be tested and proved by others, not just myself, because maybe I could have said I've got the best software in the world. Yeah. But putting out there, giving some people, this one is trying it out, this other one is trying it out, they will bring you feedback you would not get yourself. And also they put it in a more dynamic way. Elimo TV is very slim in terms of what it does. Elimo just does education. But now you find clients who want to do from studio, then from home, then from I don't know where outside. They have a guest coming in on Zoom. So they stretch you really hard in terms of how you're going to provide this solution to them. And you have to do it. Since they believe now you're their engineer, you're their guru, you really have to come up with a solution for them.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. It was a pleasure to listen to you and hear what you've been at. And now it's really incredible. And I believe that since we're doing each month an event, so maybe in several months or so, we'll be doing something in terms of the business connected to TOP. And Jeff, you're really a very good inspiration for others. So again, thank you. And
maybe Muzungu want to say something as a closing remark. Muzungu? Okay. If not, then James, can you close the meeting? I think it was
No,
really inspiring.
Before I close, I've seen the man, he's been with us right from the start. What is your thoughts?
Abdu, you want?
I can't hear.
Yes, yes.
What's the question?
What is your thoughts? You have been with us from the beginning. What did you find out this meeting? Oh, what is your impression?
I liked it. I think it's a very interesting idea, and I hope you will successful and take this idea to another places, not just in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And I am working in Jerusalem and Kayamut. This is sustainability, and we working in East Jerusalem exactly. And I have idea about electronic trash, but I will give it to Eyal. Maybe we can do something with the
electronic trash. Okay, so maybe we inspire more initiative in East Jerusalem.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.